After recording it. Can you? Everybody, can you see? Please. My Visual Studio Code, for one reason, I don't know, it's malfunctioning terribly. I don't know. You know, JavaScript is not like HTML and CSS where you can just run in the browser because it has engineers in it. So there are so many ways to run it, but then there is not as flexible as I see a thing. So the only way that is very flexible is when you queue it inside HTML.
I have to see
If you are at work, please muting you from here. Or is it a question that they want to ask?
Yes, sir. I want to ask a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So this environment you are using now is what
CodePen.
is not.
CodePen.
So is this the only one that we can use to run it? Or will
No,
it
no, it's not
eventually
the
run
only one. It's not the only one. You can run it on Visual Studio Code. Can run it from a Sublime too, but when you queue, you have to queue it into HTML. But we want to run it alone, so he limited us to where to run it. Running only JS code, is not everywhere. You cannot run it from HTML like we have been writing, and then we just open in a browser. No, it's going to tunnel the code. It's going to output the code for you. Do you understand? But this is not the only place. There are several places to run it, but it's not as flexible as important question. Yes, go ahead. Okay, I'm not done with you. Okay, go ahead.
I wish we could do it on VS Code so that we see.
Hello?
So, sir, would you advise we also go and install the CodePen now?
No, you don't need. This one I'm doing is you don't have to install. I just log in. It's a free source. It's a free open source. I just log in. Can you see Coding Towers here? I just log into my this thing here. I just log
So I'm
in.
asking, if we want to run this thing that you've done now to practice, how do we go about it now?
You can either decide to run it in the CodePen here, or you run in Visual Studio Code, which I will still show you before the end of the class.
Okay, sir. Okay.
It's malfunctioning. Or you just queue the file inside the HTML. Like in Sublime. You queue it there. Because now what makes it a bit difficult now, this is different from console.log where it will run in the terminal. And this is different from alert where it will open a dialog box, to pop up a dialog box. Now we are writing directly into the HTML document. That makes it very difficult to output. It makes less flexible rather, instead of using the word difficult. Yes, go ahead, please. Hello? You still want to ask? Hello? She lost?
Okay, I'm fine, sir. We'll just wait for VS
Okay.
Code.
All right. Manuel. Honor.
Sir.
Yes. I'm listening.
No, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh,
I think the only question I have is how we can work on Sublime with it, because it wasn't working earlier.
Yes. That is what I was explaining to her. Writing on the HTML like this makes it a bit difficult, even though less flexible, even though you can do it on Sublime, but you need to install some plugins, which that we've not done earlier. I don't know if you saw me trying to install some extension called Live Server on the Visual Studio before it crashed. So You need to do we need to install some plugins, little plugins, not very advanced plugins, actually.
Yes, sir.
But just to tell you that the code works, that is the essence of bringing it here, to make sure that the code is working. Hello, guys. Yes, Naomi, you want to ask? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. I thought you want to ask.
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So S, now it says, S document rights, S if, sorry, document rights, go to store, right? And why the S is document rights, no Apple left. Let me bring it here. So I'm going to expand it. Yep. Can see that it's still eat an apple. You go and update your value for Apple, you begin to see something else. Right? So for example, if I make this in 2, you see it's change to change. If S apples less than 3 should. If apples greater than 0, document write this. Okay, yeah, because that is the first one it has written. That is the first code. You know this with what we have written. Let's say if apple greater than 3, then you see it to change. Definitely, exactly. Because we say greater than 0 and 2 is greater than 0 and it's coming from up to top to bottom. Do you understand? Right? And let's say this is 4. The third statement will go. Let's make this guy 4. Okay, yeah, sorry. Let's make it 1. That's when the third one will go. No apple left, yeah. Are you guys seeing what we are doing?
Yes.
I mean the output here. So it has running from here, var is 2 for the value. If app greater than 3 is not greater than 3, so this statement will not go through. And checking again, if as apples less than 1, this is not less than 1, 2 is not less than 1, so this statement will not go through either. But as document write, no apple left. Right? Even though there is apple left. But that is the essence of if, else if, and else. You guys understand? Hello?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please ask question. Any question? Question, please. If there is no question, let's return back to our. I don't even know why this thing is not flexible enough to. All right, so this is what we've done. It's a bit exercise there on the effects to explore. All right. Remember that time when we're talking about reserve words, we talk about for, and I told you time is going to come, sorry. We'll talk about for, something called for loop, or so we call it a statement here, but it's a loop actually. So for has a concept of counter, like the word counting and the counter. There is another one, counting to, an increment counter, right, with expression in it. So the simple explanation here, the counter, it is a variable used to keep the track of what step you are in. So counter is to keep count of what track, the steps that you are taking. Counting to is the goal. So how many total steps we want to take, right? For example, you are a driver. You want to drive from Otukpo to Abuja, right? The counter here now will be at what speed? Is it 100 kilometers per hour, right? Counting, that is a counter now. The 100 kilometers per hour is that is the speed that you want to maintain, isn't it? Counting to is the goal. So how many distance would you want to be covering? The distance is the goal, right? And increment counter is how we change the variable to get the goal. So how you decelerate or accelerate to get the goal. You know, definitely there's no way you march 100 kilometers from here to Abuja. If you like use Oweto, if you like use Makurdi, from Otukpo to Abuja, you definitely have to break down either potholes or speed bumps or checking points, you know, or even somebody crossing or sharp corner. And maybe you see a kind of spirit even crossing, not even human being or animal, that you cannot necessarily keep. So the for loop now is a system of looping. We have two types of looping in JavaScript, the for loop and the while loop. By the time you get into the while loop, you begin to see that if and S10 thingy inside the while loop. But for this for loop, usually you see counter, counting to, an increment counter, which I've explained using this case study of traveling to Abuja, you know, firing 100 kilometers per hour, but definitely you're going to decelerate or accelerate. As you decelerate, you also accelerate sometimes. When the road is smooth, you accelerate to the fullest and minding that you are alive. Minding that you are alive means that you don't want to die, you know? So you're going to be careful while firing. You can also decelerate at any point in time. You feel like potholes, speed bumps, all of those, you know, factors that I've mentioned. Do you understand? So we use this for loop statement to set up a condition or to set up a looping system that is, you know, consistent. You know, as you are going, there is a repeated iteration. There is an iteration, like a repeated process. What is that repeated process? That repeated process is like for you, as you take off from Otukpo roundabout, definitely you cannot go with that speed that you took off with. And so, but as you decelerate, you cannot forever decelerate, because if you are decelerating, definitely you are slowing the speed and you want to get to Abuja on time. So definitely time will come, you still accelerate. In fact, twice of the takeoff time. Do you understand? This process is a process we call iteration because it's their repeated action. That is the importance of a for loop. Question? Going by the explanation here, do you understand it? Do you think it's confusing? It's convincing? Justify to the for. You see the for as a loop. What we mean by looping system is iteration process, like repeated. It is a robot that will do the cleaning. The job of the robot is to clean and clean. Even if it is clean, keep cleaning. You know, the human being cannot get the job done for that that repeated times, maybe 24 hours. So the for loop assists us in getting this kind of thing done. Question, please. And don't say that I have to speak a whole English for you to understand. This is making more real now. So explanation will be very, very meager, very, very concise. You know, unlike before, I have to like speak too many languages for you, or making so much sentences for you to understand. This is very real now. It's becoming so real. So please ask your question. Hello, hello. Are you guys here? The place is
Yes,
so.
we can hear you.
Yes. Ask question. No? Ask question. Identify something and ask question. Who is talking now?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Amedu, are you the one? Victor, if you're not talking, can you kindly mute? Or is he?
Hello, sir. This is Akinola, sir. David.
Okay, Akin, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, I joined the class late, so I'm sorry. I'm not intentionally do that. There's no battery on my phone, so that is why I went to go and chat. And network is still trying to frustrate me here too.
Okay.
So I would like if you can summarize it a little bit for me. If you don't mind, I don't mind to.
You mean for this? You mean for
drive
this
us back.
part or from the if statement?
For this part and others too, sir.
Okay, we've not done much today actually. You just apply.
Sir, please, I think that's why they record. When they post later, those people that come late can still go back to read.
Okay.
I think that's why they record the class instead of taking us back always. Please,
All right.
I do that.
All right, it's okay. But let me explain this session to him. Sorry. So we're talking about a for loop, right? And we say that a for loop is a process of iteration. And what we mean iteration is repeated process. You know, when a process happens repeatedly, without a change, without addition of anything, right? Like happens repeatedly. That is what we refer to as a for loop. So there are factors in which this for loop used to achieve the goal. Number one, factor of counter, factor of counting to, factor of increment counter. All of this comes in an expression, right? And we say that the counter, it is a variable used to keep track of what step you are on. And counting to is a goal. That is how many total steps that we want to take. And the increment counter is how we change the variable to get to the goal. And I use the scenario of you traveling since you are in Ibadan, from Ibadan to Lagos. You as a driver traveling from Ibadan, let's say from Iwo Road to Bega, which you are conversant with, I believe. So traveling from Iwo Road to Bega, you would, as a driver, you would want to be careful, even as much as the road is very express now. You want to be sure of how many kilometers per hour you want to be covering. So that process of accelerating, that is what we call counter. You know, because as you are accelerating a range of gear, right? And as it's moving, there is also a range that you are covering in terms of distance. That is the counting to, right? And as this is happening, it's not every time that you maintain that 100 kilometers per hour. Time will come, you will double it or go ahead of it, and time will come because of bumps or speed bumps or potholes or people crossing and all of that, you want to decelerate. And that is increment counter. You are either, since it's increment, you are adding, but time will come to, you will decrement the counter. So the counter is the two sides. You either increment it or you decrement it. When you increment means you double the firing. When you decrement it means maybe for speed bumps or potholes, you just try to, mash the brake. In that regards, you see that it will, decrement the counter. But increment the counter is always the goal. So you keep firing. But, and I use that as a case study, but now that is not exactly, but because this one, I told you before, when you have an increment, by default is 1 plus 1, but you can still send the range, you can set the range of this increment counter, right? This is what I said again earlier before you joined concerning this page that we are in. Any question, please? If you understand, can we move on? Hello? Can we move on? Wow. Let me see the chart.
Yes, sir, we can move on.
Okay.
It's clear.
In my output, as what number do I need to input so I can get to know apples left? I think we did less than 1 or something. That is how we got the no apple left. But I will show you later. All right, moving on. Now we want to apply a little bit to see. So this is what we meant. When we say counter, counting to an increment counter, var text equals to numbers, means the var is in numbers. If you see there is a column there, means they are going to be coming in. So for, this is the target, the keyword, the reserve word, for, the for loop. For var I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Then in that now, text plus the text, right? That is for the value, plus the text, then you concatenate it to the value of I. So we want to use the annotation to identify something real quick. This session is the concatenation session that we said, right? It's concatenation session. So console.log text, we want to print to see the results, right? When the result is printed, this is what you're going to see. This is what you're going to see. Say text, you put the result of text here, which is numbers. What are the numbers? These ones. This is the result that you're going to see when console log text, because text is a variable name. Any question so far? Any parts here you are going to ask question, I'm sure.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, please, what's the syntax for concatenation?
The syntax of concatenation?
The syntax you just, of what you just did.
Oh, sorry, just a moment. Oh, no. Sorry, I want to mark the annotation for you. Here. So this is this part.
Concatenate. I can't see the screen. Sorry, sir.
You cannot. Can anybody see this?
It's Amedu. It's
okay.
Victor. Yes, sir.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
All right.
Yes. It's double quote, a quote, that is one quote, double quote, space, another quote, space, plus.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you understand?
Is it similar to that of Python? Yes, sir.
Yes, exactly. Is that concatenation in
Okay,
Python?
okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay, sir. All right.
Yeah, so sorry about this. I was not
No,
looking. Yeah.
no problem, sir.
Uh-huh. And sometimes too, maybe I and you will have to meet physically, because since you are in Otukpo, is there any way I can do to assist you? Just feel free. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Any question? Hello.
Yeah,
Sorry,
good evening, sir.
I don't understand the document authority function. I came late. You
Ah.
have to wait, Oga Timothy.
Yeah, that person who we do.
You wrote it.
Sir.
Yes. Okay, Sin. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Nita, your name is like one transporter that is you can run from Lagos. They'll be in your front, firing.
Okay. And this part which we concatenated, this double, how do we call it, the quotation.
Yeah, this is a yeah. Go ahead. I'm listening.
So that quotation now, that space in between the quotation, is it that text is telling us to print this 0 to 4 in that space? Is that what it means?
No, the value of the text, right?
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, if you can
Yes.
see now, hold on. Let me even, if I understand it very well. This is the value of the text.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
This is the value of the for loop. This guy. So the concatenation now, the value of the test here. Are you getting it? Then
Yes,
the value of the for loop here. I don't know whether I understand this.
I didn't get that. I got that value of the text. Is this for loop now?
Yes. So this thing is the value of the test. Do you understand this side?
Yes, I understand this side.
This is after it has been concatenated. Then this part is the value of the for loop.
Okay, let me understand some. This concatenation, it doesn't change, right? It is like this all over, like in JavaScript.
Yes, usually we'll write something in between here. Do you understand?
Yes. That's why I'm
but because the range is being set like this here, an I is being added. What is the I? So that is why it's taking that part. You can see a very lengthy space here.
Yes, I understand.
It's all over. The concatenation code is the same.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, except when you have to write something in between. But now the document, the Java, I understand what you are saying. No? You are saying that since you did not write this thing with hand, how did it come like this? If I understand what you are saying.
Yes, I've gotten it. I understand now.
All right.
I understand. Look, I was actually looking for us to write. Maybe probably write something in between the.
Yeah, you don't have to, because already your command will generate the answer and queue it in.
Yes. Yeah. So I got it. So now, what people want to do the countdown to be
exactly. It will
0.
count down to the range. You know, say less than. You say I equal to 0.
Yeah, yes, I understand.
From 0. It's starting
I'm
from
asking
0.
a different question.
Okay.
I'm asking the question I'm asking now is, what if we want to change this for loop now for it to count down to 0? Like probably the counting start from 4, and then what would be the line
counting
of
start
code
from what?
for loop?
Hello?
If we want it, if this counting now, this counting to start to count down to 0, like it will count down from the higher number down to the lowest number.
And then you do greater now.
Okay, that's what I'm
saying. You mean like it's counting from left, from right to left? Is that what you said?
No, like, okay, these numbers now, for it to print 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And
Okay,
then you flip your range system. Then you flip, instead of 0 now, you bring 4 now. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm
Yeah,
getting it.
you flip your range system. Of course, you said I should start, the initial should start from 0 and end less than 5. So in that regards now, you just start from 5, right? Start from 4 or 5 and end at 0, greater than or less than 0. I don't know whether I understand. It will just
Yes.
ahead.
Yes.
Question, please. Those are good questions that he's asking, no? And they are not cheap, they are difficult questions. Ask, please. JavaScript will not kill us. Hello, guys. Ask question. If you don't ask question, does that mean that you understand it? Or you don't know what to ask? Now, wow. People are not asking.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Dr. Clems.
The question I want to ask now, if like the 0 now, you have to put it in, you have to put it for 1.
It
Then
will start
the I
firing
now,
from 1. Yes, okay, go ahead.
the I now, okay, the I now, you now put less than 6. So it will now start counting from 1 to 5, right?
5, because you set a range. For the fact that you use,
Yes.
for the fact that you use less than, 6 is not less than 6 now. It's 5 that is less than 6. If you put 10,
I know.
if you put 10, it will print from that range that you set all the way to the limit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And now you guys understand there are questions that you are not asking. I want to ask you now. What is this? What is this one? And what is this one? Who wants to go? Or I should call him. What is this thing called? From our class so far. What is this one called? What is this one called? Oh yeah. You not talking means you don't know.
Counter.
Boy, no be you, I beg, chairman. Who be that one? Waiting. Okay, see. Hello? I bet this meeting is finished or what? Hello? Can you guys? Yes.
Hello, it's not finished.
Okay. Trust me, I cannot see anybody. Who was talking? Okay, see. Maybe the okay scene is gone. Who was talking before? Do you know who was talking? Anybody else?
It was okay scene. Okay scene that was talking.
Anybody else, please? Manuel is not active today.
Carl talk. Yeah. Rain.
Are you answering?
Sir, what's the question, please?
The question is
yeah, actually, I think like 80%. I do have them.
Please, Vera, whoever is there, if you are in the office, could you just mute while you listen to us? I say, what is this?